Hello, I hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the Esports Rewind Podcast number 3. Zan, we have made it. We have survived.
Successfully. It's a miracle.
And I think luckily so far, back-to-back weeks of good updates, put her there.
Yeah,
we asked for dislikes last time. We got dislikes, but we broke 1,000 views on the podcast.
Hey.
So freaking congratulations. Welcome back, everyone.
Let's get some likes for that this week,
please.
Actually.
That's what should be our next goal. But seriously, thank you all for watching. We really do enjoy this podcast. If you guys are new to this series, welcome. Everything should be timestamped down below if you want to jump around. Pretty much Esports Rewind Podcast, what we do is we summarize all the hottest, the craziest, the newest esports news out there into one individual episode. Are you ready, Zan?
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. Okay, so I know you've heard about this first story. Absolutely insane. Of course, last week we talked about OpTic, the fact that they could be bought out and done. And now this week, I'm going to say it all about the FaZe drama.
Like, what do you even say?
Exactly. Like, I obviously, from a viewer perspective, you kind of you get to take it all in. But like when you have to cover it, you just don't really know where to start half the time.
Because this is probably the biggest news in esports over the past decade.
Yeah, I mean, you would have said the OpTic stuff was the biggest news we've seen in the past 5 years, or at least of course in 2019. And now you have this story come up. Yeah,
within weeks of each other.
It's
how crazy.
And they're notorious rivals. It is OpTic and FaZe. So anyway, a quick discussion or a quick kind of summary. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, we'll link some stuff down below. I've been talking about it all week long. Basically, Tfue, their most popular player by far and away, arguably by many standards, the best Fortnite player in the world, has now come out and actually decided to sue FaZe Clan organization, stating he was trying to breach his contract. They apparently denied him that right, and now he is alleging to get out of this contract. He's alleging mayhem. I mean,
he's hitting them with the shotgun approach. He's just like, I'm taking everybody down with me.
You ain't gonna let me out, but okay, then you're gonna have to let everyone go because
I'm burning the building down around you.
So recent rumors are now possibilities because they possibly, with these allegations, have broken so many California laws. The organization could be hit with some very, very big fines, if not repercussions, if not possibly a shutdown of the organization.
It could happen very easily now. It's wild.
My worry about this is when it comes to the California Commission, if that's what you want to call them, if they've never ruled on an esports case like this before, who knows what the punishment might be.
I'm fairly certain they haven't, and I think that might be FaZe's saving grace, hopefully, because with everything that's happening right now, I'd say they have it's like a 70-30 chance FaZe closes. Right?
Really?
Yeah, because when you
For
start,
me, it's just so hard to believe,
I mean, yeah, it is, right? But when you start mixing in the alcohol and stuff, right, and you pair that with the fact that Banks has just put out so much information that could be used against him in court, and there is a bias against esports and influencers in general, and FaZe is like a combination of both in ways that a lot of people are going to frown on.
Yeah.
And so they'll want to throw the hammer at them, throw the book rather. That's the proper phrase.
You and your phrases.
Yeah.
Throw a bag of worms at them. Do not.
It's always one word.
Do not Google bag of worms.
It's a learning experience. If you feel the need.
Yeah. But when it comes to wrap it around to last week's story, if you guys were here, we talked about that one senator who wants to get loot crates and boxes out of the game, and we kind of joked around about maybe he had a niece or a nephew steal his wallet. What if that same senator who wants to get rid of loot crates or boxes in games, what if a guy like that is on the commission and that's all it takes to say, hey, let's detonate a bomb on FaZe Clan. Let's tear them apart for this.
Let's get rid of them.
So I guess to wrap it up, there's 4 primary allegations. I want to kind of ask you which one you find to be worse. There was, and again, very, very lack of proof. It was just the allegation. Illegal gambling, underage drinking, also putting the players in harm's way. So he also claimed he had an injury based off stunts performed. And then very lastly, illegal signing or underage signing of a player who was apparently, they said 13, but he was actually 11 years old.
Right. So the HECZ thing, the player whose age they may have been lying about, I find that the gambling is probably the thing I'm least concerned about. Okay. Because, that seems like more just we're throwing that in there just because.
Proving that would be very difficult, you'd find.
That's going to be rough,
unless Tfue had a selfie while playing poker or whatever online with the
or
boys.
Screenshots of text or something.
Yeah.
But,
And even then, texts are probably very circumstantial.
Yeah, right. The HECZ thing, it strikes me as something that maybe everybody at FaZe is just aggressively stupid, but it seems like the type of thing that would be the first thing you would run by your HR department, your legal team, whatever. How do we hire this young kid? So they've got to have covered themselves in some way, right? And the injury, I mean, obviously Tfue has been doing like crazy stuff for years. He's been jumping off
for
stuff.
sure.
Like it'll be hard to prove that that was FaZe's fault in any way whatsoever, and not something that he did.
Yeah.
But the underage drinking, considering, I mean, I believe you showed a clip of it in your video earlier this week, where Banks admitted that he knew Tfue was drinking on one of their properties.
Yep.
And that's what concerns me.
Yep. And I mean, we've talked about it. Obviously, this kind of stuff does go on in organizations.
Everybody knows.
We've just never seen a player really take it to this limit. So I would agree with you on that. I think the drinking thing, if any of these things can be proven, they're breaking California code laws. We don't know the punishments for them, but I kind of agree with you when it comes to the drinking. We know people under 21 drink, and we understand it might not be a big deal because he could have been drinking before. But the fact is, it's against the law if they provide it, and he did consume it on their property, which we now have Banks saying they did, if that context is correct.
Yeah, like the fact that he really should not have said that he saw it. Because even then, I wouldn't have been worried about the drinking if he hadn't said he saw and was aware of it. Yeah. You know, because then how do you prove that, right? But
we'll wrap it up. We'll be back here next week talking about this for sure. And hopefully we get to keep OpTic or FaZe out of this.
I hate the fact it's one of the two. It's either
Let's
or.
Let's flip a coin and we get to keep one or the other.
Okay, next story. A little bit more lighthearted, thankfully.
Some good news for once.
Yeah. Okay. Dauntless. We were talking about this real briefly.
Just said good news.
It's not bad news.
Hit me with it.
Yeah, all right, here we go. It's the first game to ever launch with true crossplay across every console, every platform that's available on.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So you can play it if you have a PS4, you can play with Xbox and PC people. Totally fine.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, out
the gate.
What about like the Switches and like
the game isn't out on those consoles at all.
Okay, so across major platforms.
Yeah, across every platform that it's available on, everybody can play together.
Wow, that's actually really impressive.
No, yeah.
But they were in beta for a long time.
They were in beta for a long time, and I don't know if they had crossplay then. It's one of those weird things where it's technically the only game to launch with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you could say Rocket League and Fortnite are crossplay now.
Yeah.
But,
but maybe not at launch. Can't really remember the logistics of it.
Yeah.
You think that's going to become a thing maybe where developers now, they keep their game in beta until they have true cross-platform?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, they're going to
cross-platform after a year of beta.
Yeah, this way we can say we're the very first. We're launching full cross-platform.
But from now on, we're second. Dauntless was the first.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, right? So Fortnite's cross-platform, right? And Fortnite and Rocket League are the esports those are the esports titles for crossplay at this point, right? With those games being available on PC and console, do you think we're going to start seeing a switch from using PCs at tournaments and for tournament play or any kind of competition to console?
Ooh.
Because consoles are a lot more consistent performance-wise. You're not going to have as many problems like on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, that's a really tough, kind of a gray area for me, especially because when it comes to also games like Fortnite, you've had the also question. I mean, you're right. I know in terms of a lot of things that the consoles are more stable. That's really tough because I think Rocket League just introduced last year with their RLCS or maybe even this upcoming one that at the finals you can play console or PC, I believe.
Oh, you can make a choice.
Yeah, I believe.
That'd be interesting.
Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I do know there's a lot of debate about Fortnite. With their World Cup going on, what if a mobile player qualifies?
Yeah,
do you have him sit there on camera with his iPhone?
I was looking at I went through the rules for the World Cup right before we hopped in here. There was nothing in the rules about what console or what platform you have to play on.
That's what, because I saw comments about this. If a mobile player, which some have gotten somewhat close, but the fact that it's a possibility, like I saw someone say, are you going to force them then to play on PC or console for the first time, and they're just going to be the one in dead last?
They'd get screwed like completely. There's no way for them to compete like that.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess back on topic, I feel like it's almost the direction they have to go, right? If people aren't going to make a direct choice, although I think. Personally, I would prefer PC to be the future of that stuff. But like you said, performance-wise, there's going to be preferences.
Yeah, I could see it going console just because, like, you could plug a keyboard or mouse into a console.
Really?
Right? Like, at base level, it works, like, inside the console's own UI. It's just the games themselves that don't have support built into their console versions, which would be something easy to add if they decided to go that direction.
Yeah. I would guess that in the future, I mean, I'd probably, because there's always going to be preference, even if people realize there's better benefits for, they're going to play what they would prefer to play on.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would hope that more organizers are actually just more open to having both as an option.
Yeah, well, whatever works for the TOs, it's whatever they can manage at the end of the day.
With that being said, I don't think we're going to be seeing a Dauntless tournaments anytime soon.
Oh, definitely not. No, I don't
but they are the first true cross platform.
They get the trophy. That's like, that's saying something. Like, really.
All right, Zanzam, this will be a quick one, all right?
All right.
We talked about this last week.
Lightning
Huge
round.
topic. Speed round.
Yeah.
But the OpTic buyout.
Yeah.
I have updates for you, and I'm sure you probably follow this as well. You guys do probably at home. On top of that, just a quick update. This week has been a roller coaster for organizations out there. But being said, it actually is confirmed now that HECZ is in the running for bids. Hopefully we can show you guys some tweets or updates. If you guys saw our video on that, HECZ did confirm vlogs and his podcast will actually come back next week, which should be in a few days from now, meaning he was going to dedicate his full time currently to the task at hand. That, of course, being fighting for that bid of majority ownership of Infinite, who's trying to buy out OpTic Gaming. It doesn't look good, though. That's for sure.
I'm not optimistic.
Did you mean that ironically?
Honestly, I will not be surprised.
I love how you said that without not even realizing. Optimistic.
Oh shit,
dude! Too soon. It's been 2 days.
Yeah.
Actually, by the time this is live watched, they've already sold off, and you just have that as your last line. I'm not too optimistic. Be forever a meme.
That'll be my Twitter bio from now.
But with all the sources now saying, especially because in HECZ's tweet he clarifies, till the very last no, I will keep on fighting, which to me meant he's been told no, but he just keeps before.
Yeah, probably, right? Like, somebody's got to been in a room with him and been like, your chances aren't good, my guy.
Yeah, like hey, Immortals has a much better backing than you and your partner / if you have multiple partners. To me, it just always hurts to see a guy like that who is such a nominal figure, if not like one of the most well-known figures in esports.
Yeah, and you can tell he's passionate about it.
Oh, I mean, it's legitimate his baby. And his baby's about to be just gone. Not to put pictures in heads, but so just a quick update for all of you guys. It's not looking good. I broke down in a video what would happen for the future of OpTic. I think the last resort as well will be if Immortals, the company, wants to buy out the majority share. If they want to bring on Hector as the CEO, they want him to keep on his role there. His last ditch effort is apparently going to be to at least having tried the Call of Duty team remain under the OpTic name somehow. Which, again, I really can't see Immortals buying them out and wanting to have that happen unless they just really feel for the guy.
I think Immortals would be well served. I don't know if they would do it, but I think it would be smart to keep the OpTic name, even if it's just for the Call of Duty team. Yeah,
unless there's some kind of personal, as we've talked about before, vendetta about this. And you can also not blame them if they spend that money to not want to use their name.
Right.
But I think everyone in the entire esports scene is with you on that one, especially for Call of Duty. The OpTic Gaming name needs to remain somehow.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's a brand. It is like I'd say. If I think of Call of Duty, I think of OpTic to some extent. Yeah,
it's just a sad story. Updates on that one also coming sometime soon, guys. OpTic is fighting for their life, and very likely next time we see you, we will have a final decision on that.
Okay, so this one is going to get a little bit dicey, surprisingly. Right?
Okay. Yeah. I always like a little dice.
Yeah,
be with it.
Like little whip out the slap chop.
Wait. Don't Google slap chop. Gosh, you and your taglines, man.
No, slap chop, like, the Billy Mays thing.
Yeah,
you cut vegetables up. You use it to dice vegetables.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Billy Mays passed.
Did he?
It's the Billy Mays guy who. Wow, you're just like not optimistic about Billy Mays' future, dude. But I know. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. It's really aesthetically pleasing to watch.
Yeah, exactly right. I need one of those.
Anyway. Are we selling slap chops now?
Yeah, we'll throw the logo on it. First sponsor, if you want to be a friend of the podcast, Slap Chop, hit us up. The DMs are open. Anyway, so the NCAA Collegiate Esports. Everybody knows collegiate esports are kind of trash right now.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Well, that's one way to put it, Zan.
Yeah. Realistically speaking, I'm not gonna wake up on a Saturday morning and be like, you know what? Let's see what Texas is doing. Their esports team. You know what?
I couldn't even name a college team.
I don't even know.
Let's see what the Beavers are doing in Overwatch this morning.
Yeah, right. Because realistically speaking, the top players in that college age range, they just go play for a team.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. There's no real, unlike with real sports, you kind of got to go through that amateur process. immediately pro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and basically the NCAA decided they were going to table the issue of whether or not they want to be involved in college esports.
Oh, whoa! I didn't.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, they're like, you know, we looked at it. We're just gonna let it sit for now. You know, they're not gonna do anything about it. They're not gonna. And that's part of what led to Riot announcing they were going to have their own collegiate group to kind of assist with League of Legends esports. Which, you know, I don't really trust Riot at this point, but at least they're trying.
Who do we trust anymore?
Platinum Games.
But that is a super. I didn't hear about any of that. And curious what you think. Like, do you think they should do you want them to eventually stand in? Because we've had that controversy around NCAA wanting to pay players, you know, and how much do they pay players? And then it comes into esports. What if they aren't willing to pay esports players? I see a lot of.
There's this is why I said it was dicey, right? There's so many weird ways this could pan out. Like, I'm really glad that they're not involved right now, just because of all the potential issues.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you heard, like, I don't keep up with normal sports, right? But a couple years ago, this guy, I think in 2017, if I'm correct, I actually have his name. His name is Oscar De La Haye. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. He's a football guy, right?
Yeah.
He had a YouTube channel, and he was playing for he's playing in college, like college football.
Oh, I think yeah.
And they were like, the NCAA was like, you either close your channel or you can play.
I do remember this.
And he decided to keep the channel, and he's now suing the NCAA.
Yeah, I think he was not the only one either. Like, this was a time like that after that one surfaced. There were a lot of YouTubers who came out and said, I can't play Division I, I can't be a Division I runner or whatever it might be. But yeah, it's such a debatable topic on so many points.
Yeah, just think about that. Like, imagine an esports player being told you can't stream, you can't do anything on YouTube.
We're not going to pay you, but we're going to make money off of you. Yeah. Right. Now, if we say it like that, I can't really see it working, to be honest.
Right, yeah.
And so I respect them stepping back, but they might be stepping back because this is a complicated issue.
Yeah, they're just like, let's just not.
We're making
enough
money.
With it right
let's just hold this off until it becomes even more. I guess they could say beneficial on their end of things.
No, yeah, definitely.
Definitely a good topic for the future, though, because when it comes to talking collegiate esports, we always bring up the point that, hey, when you see a recruitment post for a big organization, they aren't looking for 24-year-old men and women.
Oh, yeah, never,
it's 16 to 19, sometimes 16 to 18, which, by the way, is high school. For those, or I don't know how UK
high school or like early college,
right before university for EU, they're gonna slaughter us. Sorry, I don't know, but it's young. So yeah, definitely a topic to touch back on the future because that is very, very interesting. All right, you went with dicey, so I'm gonna go with dicey.
All right,
that means my last story or two is gonna be very, very fast. But I just wanted to follow you up and try and one up you with dicey.
Let's do it.
All right, we're gonna talk females in esports. Just throwing it all out there.
Yeah.
We're just so you come back with your next story and make it even better.
All right, yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it.
So a story came up very recently, actually only a couple of days ago in CSGO. Now, again, when it comes to across several esports, I'm not really sure how all of them work this in, but I think a typical rule is that there are no such thing in esports, correct me if I'm wrong, as male-only tournaments.
Yeah.
But there are female-only tournaments because there is an actual backing for a disparity between female and male esports athletes. Do we agree on that?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't just want to try to offend anybody, but it was actually a DreamHack Valencia event announced a couple of days ago, $100,000 event, CSGO, females only, and the backlash. Well, it was quite a bit for the occurrence. And
as it always is, unfortunately.
Yeah, and of course, most of it's Reddit. You know, you don't really know who's actually talking behind the keyboards, but their arguments mainly being the fact that a lot of these women are not near as good as the men on the Reddit forums commenting this kind of stuff because, unfortunately, a lot of that at the time it is true. Female CS:GO players, ranking wise.
They're not exactly where they need to be.
But my argument being against that is the fact that female majors in CSGO, and again across other esports, I'm not too well researched on female-only tournaments. I think CSGO is one of the bigger ones in terms of prize fundings. Their majors, their biggest events are usually $50,000. So this is one of the biggest events we'll ever see for females.
Yeah, at 100K, right?
Yeah. And people still somehow find a way to complain. So my ultimate question to you is, are you okay with female-only tournaments? Because I feel like if other esports pick this kind of stuff up, we're going to see increased backlash. But ultimately, I believe it's healthier for the scene.
Yeah, I kind of agree because I think what female-only tournaments will do, even if like ignoring the prize pool, which is it's nice to lend like some more legitimacy to female like esports players, right? But I think just putting more female esports players in front of cameras and getting their gameplay out there and showing how they are, like, they've got the skills, right? And I think getting more of that on stream is good. You know, outside of like individual streams where people are always going to be saying like, oh, this person's just a Twitch thought, they're just a gamer girl, XYZ. If they're on stage playing a tournament, I think you're going to see a lot less of that. Yeah. And people are going to more like actually looking at their gameplay.
And then it opens up a whole nother can of worms. Not a bag, a good old can of worms of, you know, if there does become more legitimacy to this, you know, a whole other topic is about the backlash that women receive, and if they can actually make that climb to be competitive in esports, because as you slowly do progress, even if you do get better as a female, you're still at each level going to face just sheer amounts of backlash.
Right. And you know what? I kind of think the better approach to this, not to say that the tournaments are bad. Like, I think the tournaments are a great thing. You know, it's good that people are willing to put their money behind this, right? I think the better approach is not necessarily having an org, but more of a supporting group, right? Like for fighting games, they just started doing this. It's called EXO Academy. It's basically like a mini org that supports female fighting game players. Okay. And we'll do things like, hey, we're gonna work with you and train you. We're going to have these pro players come out and do stuff with you. Yeah. And then we're going to help you fly out to a tournament, see how you do. You know, and all they're doing is supporting the people, supporting female esports gamers and helping them get to tournaments and helping them participate. You know, and just, I think if we see more of that would work out really well, and less people would probably take issue with that. Yeah, and on very lastly to note as well, when it comes to like traditional sports versus esports, traditional sports also separate by sex. I guess the only thing that rides the line is then, you know, how they actually identify with each sex and who can compete in what. Obviously more of a controversy when it comes to traditional sports. But I have no qualms with female-only tournaments whatsoever. I think it's great for viewership, great for exposure, and great for the scene, in my opinion. Yeah. It's only good things. So stop leaving hateful comments. Calm down. So let's keep riding that same, like, you know, dicey trail. Let's do it. We might as well just lean into it at this point, right? Let me prepare myself. You go off. All right. So Gaguri, for those of you who haven't heard of her, she is an Overwatch player. Actually, the only female Overwatch player in the league. Let me try and know my Overwatch. Shanghai Dragons? Shanghai Dragons. You got it. Which, you know, unfortunately, kind of the worst team in the league. Like, high key. I remember this. Even last season they went 42-0. It was bad. You mean 0-42? Oh, yeah. Or 0-42. I thought you were joking. I thought you were. Yeah. Yeah. They had a 42 loss streak. Yeah, let's put it that way. Which just think about that. That's like, woof. To be fair, I don't know if she was playing with them last season. I don't think she was. I don't know. We're gonna sound like idiot. I think she was. I'm sorry. I haven't watched enough Overwatch League. The little I know is they did keep her, so she obviously wasn't their worst player. Right. Obviously, Gaguri's great. Yeah. She's strong. She has a great, like, you know, she's killing it. Before you get into whatever you said, in terms of overall esports, she is like one of the very, 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 very few to penetrate that level as a female. Definitely. So all the respect to her. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Well, then. Time was naming her one of the leaders of the next generation for esports. I agree for sure. Well deserved. Yeah, I think, like, you know, Gaguri is like showing that female players can actually hit that level. Yeah, and like I love the fact that when she first came onto the scene, people were accusing her of aimbotting and, like, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's understandable, though, only because the same thing happens with guys when they come up and they're all of a sudden, like, they're, you know, out of a new level that you don't expect out of people. Right. I've seen plenty of guys that are clean that are accused. So it does go both ways, but it's expected, especially when a female does it. It does kind of suck, but I mean, hey, at least she lived up to it. And she, imagine. Do you remember what was that? The Emily, the Overwatch Emily? Oh, Ellie? Are you talking about Ellie? Yeah. Freaking E names. E girls do with the E names. I hated that Ellie situation. Yeah, okay. If you at any point in time think you're gonna have to say this was a social experiment, just stop that. That is whatever you're doing. Stop it. That is so true. Like, if you have to prove, if you have to say to yourself, to make yourself convinced that it's okay to say it's a social experiment, whatever you're doing is probably not very good. If you can even think of using social experiment in correlation with your idea, you should it's a bad idea. Just stop.
Oh man, I don't even want to get into that story. But anyway, Gaguri, for sure. It's really nice to see that kind of refreshing face around as well. But I don't follow the Overwatch scene too closely.
Right.
But I'm very curious as compared to what, like, if a female were to rise to that level in CSGO versus Overwatch, the level of backlash comparatively.
Right.
Because I'm not sure if she actually faces a lot of backlash. She could, but I have no idea about it.
Recently, I think it's more or less subsided. Because, I mean, obviously, she plays, like, crazy good, right? So who's going to debate that, right?
Yeah.
And I think the fact that she's on Shanghai Dragons isn't doing her any favors.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're doing a bit better this season. I think they're at 6-6 right now.
Okay.
So, you know, they're making
that
moves.
is huge progress.
Yeah, I know, right? Up from 42.
It's better than them kicking Gaguri and then they improve, because then that just spells a whole whirlwind of trouble.
Yeah, but, you know, all I want to do is give her a shout out.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know, it's good.
Gaguri?
Yeah.
Hi.
Good looks.
All right, Zan, this is my last one, man. It's my last story.
All right.
And I'm out of here.
Let's knock it out of the park. I'll just do the last. I'll do the ending by myself, you know.
I'm actually going to show you pictures here of, shout out to my man, Gamertag. He sent me this for the last story. Farming Simulator. Remember that?
It's been a minute, but yes.
Yeah, they actually had this huge announcement of an esports scene coming, and I think they had events
for Farming Simulator.
But they are now working on UIs for their events.
Okay.
So I think it's this one. So UI meaning like the overlay for the action. So you see the teams and the scores.
Yeah, like they're actually taking like farm. What?
Yeah,
like how
this dude's farming plots and they're getting points and stuff. I have no idea how this point system works.
Okay, I just want to see like tractors like drifting, like Fast and Furious style, like
with like 10 seconds left on the clock and you gotta harvest this much corn.
You pull like. You see them like whipping.
This dude's coming out of the barn like, we need 3 more acres or something like that. I come from Iowa. I can make corn jokes, okay? And I know whatever I just said was not factually correct, but either way, like I want to see some last second clutches.
That'd be hype. Yeah. I'm ready.
And they win by 3 stocks. And just like, guys, they had some big prize pools though. So I'm excited to see.
Oh, for sure.
And you can already see, dude, it's not going to be your typical, I imagine if they have teams and stuff, your typical jerseys. People are going to come in overalls.
Yeah.
And like
that'd be
sick.
Honestly, like high key, I would buy that jersey.
Oh, for
if
sure.
If you had like an overall jersey for like.
TM, trademark. You heard it here first.
Esports Talk overall jerseys.
Oh my gosh. Like a onesie?
Bro, I'll dead ass sew that this week.
Or even like 2 pieces separately.
Yeah.
Just like a.
No, yeah. It's got to be one piece. Logo right here.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Trademarked.
Yeah.
Stop. Dude, this is our idea. Dude, can we.
Keep an eye on our merch store.
Yeah. That is such
our non-existent merch store.
Because you can already see so many characters coming out of this. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Have the hay in the mouth. Like, yep, this is our run today, Team Iowa. And just like, undefeated or whatever.
This would be so lit. I am so I'm here for it.
Farming Simulator, you have so much potential. Keep it up. We love it.
Let's bring out the Alabama scene. Let's go. Roll Tide, my guy.
Oh my, this got me so excited to watch it. Do it and bring us in on it. We trademark.
We will be your biggest fans. Just like, get us there. We'll shoutcast. So, really interesting positive story, potentially.
I like a good positive story.
Yeah, might as well end on a high note.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. GOG. I think we were just talking about this earlier. GOG Galaxy.
GOG.
Oh, you heard of that? Yeah. So if you guys are familiar with GOG, I think it's short for Good Old Games, I believe. I
couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Yeah. There are like an anti-DRM store.
You are using a lot of what is it called when you use 3 letters? Abbreviations.
Oh, yeah.
I sound smart.
I don't even know what DRM stands for at this point.
Imagine bringing a story to the table and not understanding the story.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, DRM is
Dr. M's and
yeah, I was eating some Dr. M's the other day. Well, anyway, DRM is like the easiest way to explain it is accessibility of like playing your games like wherever you want. Like, if you have like really heavy DRM on your game, you're only gonna be able to play it like through the Epic Store or whatever.
Oh, okay.
At least that's
so
how
you want low DRM.
Yeah, you want if ideally for the consumer you want no DRM.
Okay.
You want to just be able to do whatever with you bought it, you just do whatever, right?
Okay.
And they're coming out with a new launcher that's kind of based around that idea on a grand scale, making it so that any of your games that you own whatsoever, you can put them in their launcher, and you'll be able to access them and play them and launch them from there. So you don't have to touch Steam. You don't have to touch Epic. You don't have to touch anything. It'll just manage all of that.
That sounds extremely complicated.
Yeah. It's been tried before, and it's never worked out. In fact, this is their second version that they're attempting now. So
I'm really curious how much money goes into that kind of thing.
Probably like millions, right?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very interesting, as if, I don't know if I don't know about these kind of things, if I'd even use them, you know? I'm so dedicated to Steam and whatever launcher I'll pretty much download whatever launcher I need for a game.
Mm-hmm. See, yeah, but the thing is, like, this like gets rid of the need for that altogether.
Yeah.
Which I can see the appeal for.
I guess if you're like a really, really heavy, I just never ran into the issue myself. So there's definitely a market for it.
Personally, yeah, neither have I. Like, I've never really cared.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you just, if I was ever like particularly bothered by one launcher or another, I would just make a shortcut to the game and just click on the shortcut and then, whatever, I see Steam for 2 seconds and then I'm playing the game.
Yeah,
whatever,
exactly.
Who cares, right? But you know, it's good for, I know plenty of people aren't happy with the Epic Game Store.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that'll be probably a story next week.
Yeah, probably.
Plenty of backlash so far about even people posting games on there. So
yeah.
We'll see if it works out for them. Probably a very, very long run for them ahead.
Yeah, definitely. But, you know, it's good that people are trying.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Like we're trying this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'd say we're succeeding so far.
Thank you guys for helping us succeed.
Yeah, all the support has been great so far. Really and truly. Thank you guys.
But don't give us dislikes this week, please.
Yeah. We're looking for likes.
We asked for it once, and I kind of regret it.
See, I underestimated
the power.
Yeah.
Like, they actually thought we won it. But we were joking, but we weren't joking enough. Like, one.
We were just making goofs, guys.
I saw at least 4 comments be like, hey, gave you that dislike you wanted. I was like,
you know, Yeah, you know, I was like, I like you, but.
Like, I thank you, but don't not thank you.
Yeah.
But anyway, wrapping it up, one last thing. We're not going to do any weekly recaps. We've had plenty of great stories on the website as well as the YouTube channel. I want to get a Randy Pitchard update.
All right.
Do you have one? I think we have one, right?
Yeah, so,
if you guys don't know Randy Pitchard, we're going to do a weekly segment on this man.
The Randy recap. Just because the guy's interesting. You know, he's
I don't like him.
Yeah, he's weird.
But I don't hate him.
At least, yeah, right? Like, he's fascinating. It's like watching a train wreck in process. In like slow motion.
Yeah. And we're trying to direct him in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna listen. But,
like, this train is gonna wreck.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. I mean, realistically speaking, as soon as Borderlands 3 reviews come out, if it's like 7 or below, watch out. Randy's gonna be on Twitter.
Randy's gonna go on a Randy rampage. He's not gonna stop.
Randy Rampage TM.
Randy off the rails. There's so many alliterations with Randy.
It's so easy. But anyway, Randy was doing some good this week.
Let's go.
Yeah, good guy Randy.
If you guys were here last week, he did nothing good. He did some very bad things.
Randy was in a mood last week, you know. But anyway, you know, there is a guy who's sick, wanted to play Borderlands before he died. Randy was like, you know, we can make that happen. Made it happen. Pretty straightforward story, but you know.
And that does bring him up a few. Obviously, a really sad story, like. But it still brings him up a few rungs on the ladder.
That brings like Randy up from like a -20 to like a -19.
He's almost back in our scoreboard of 0 to 10.
You know what? Let us know what happened to that $12 million that's theoretically missing. And, you know, maybe we can talk.
Dude, everyone takes $12 billion if they have the opportunity.
You know, personally, I walked over to the company bank account the other day, and I was just like, oh, I'll just take $12 million real quick. I want a pizza.
No one's gonna. It's such skimming off the top.
Yeah, nobody notices $12 million missing, right? Yeah.
I love me some Randy recap.
Yeah.
And we'll be back here doing that every single week. Thank you guys so much for watching Esports Rewind Podcast, episode number 3.
Your number one source for Randy Pitchford updates.
Yes, and hopefully soon your number one source for esports recap / esports news. Really do enjoy it, Zan. And here's to episode 3. We survived yet again. We will see you guys back here next week, episode 4. Thank you all so much for leaving comments, giving us stories, and we will see you all sometime soon.
Happy Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah. Happy Memorial Day. Peace.